anyone that has unfortunately been tainted by the media of the world today, whether it be television, movies, internet, whatever form of media that's out there, where a person does not realize it, but the damage to their Neshamah, the damage to their ideology is does not end there from all the movies and the shows that are out there, but rather there is a certain scar that each of us that has spent any amount of time watching movies, and especially the movies that are so-called biblical movies, the movies of Moses and Noah, even though they're full of corruption of the text and distortions, still many of us don't realize that even the things that people that are not involved, that are not connected to the Torah, things that have to do with what happens under the ocean, what happens in the heavens, aliens, whatever it is, all of that stuff has a certain amount of effect, and many times that effect is damaging to the person's imagination, damaging to the person's perspective, and most critical is damaging to the person's understanding of the miracles that took place 3,333 years ago. Why? Because most of us that have spent any amount of time seeing visuals of the Jewish people, of course, as personified by Hollywood, whether the Hollywood of 50 years ago or modern day Hollywood, not much of a difference as happened throughout the years. The damage is significant, and many people don't realize how significant it is until they take things and think about them deeply. One of the reasons why people don't necessarily have a natural excitement when it comes to discussing the miracles of the Exodus is because, quite frankly, after you're told the story the first time, it's no longer a big deal. Why? Because once you have told a story, and you're told a story through something visual, you're seeing a Hollywood film of some kind, showing you all of these people leaving Egypt, all of these people crossing the ocean, that, even if it is exciting for a second, it loses its value very quickly, especially when it's repeated second, third, fourth time on a daily basis, needless to say, on Pesach. Most people are not so excited about the Exodus. Why they're not so excited? Because it's something that their mind can fathom. They can put that in a box and see, when you tell me Exodus, when you tell me Yetziat Mitzrayim, I can already imagine what it looks like, and it fits in a certain box. And anything that I know what it looks like, and I could put it in a certain box, I get used to it. And if I get used to it, by default, that means I'm not excited about it. If a person could have the same woman every day, little by little, that beautiful woman, that's beautiful to everybody in the world, becomes ugly to him. If a person has the same delicious food every single day, within a short period of time, that delicious food that's delicious to everybody else in the world becomes disgusting to him. Why? Because he has too much. And this is what Shlomo HaMelech says, that dvash matzata echol dayeka pentis be'ena ve'ekiato. A person that finds something delicious, finds honey, don't eat too much of it because eventually you'll vomit it. So when we have too much of a certain good thing, it's not to our benefit. Needless to say, when we get used to something, so when somebody has the same image of what the Exodus was, that image loses its value very quickly. And how does a person eliminate that? First and foremost, know that all of the visuals that you have ever seen about the Exodus, about the Avot, about the Tzaddikim, whether of Tzaddikim of the previous generation, the generation of the Baal Shem Tov, Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, all of it is wrong. All of it. Why? Because the way we picture the Avot, whether it's Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, David HaMelech, Shlomo HaMelech, is just simple, lowly people, perhaps they look more like the Afghanistanis today, that, each one of them walks around with some type of goat. Maybe if they're rich, they have a cow. They go into the market. Maybe they'll get a melon, perhaps a cucumber, because that's all they can afford. And they live in some tent or some hole in the wall, and that's their life. Everybody's just this simple person. Yeah, they're righteous, they're holy, but it's not something anyone really aspires to be. Needless to say, Yetziat Mitzrayim. Okay, everybody is damaged. Everybody's doesn't feel so good. Everybody has some blood on their face, some wounds, some scars. But it's not that many people. Perhaps it's 30,000 people, 40,000 people, something that I could quantify, because I've seen it before in a sports event, like a football arena or soccer or some type of show. I've seen that amount of people enter and exit a building before, and that's really what they show you in the movies. It's a quantifiable number of people. There lies the big mistake. See, a human mind can quantify and visualize 30, 40, 50,000 people, because you've seen it. It's possible to see. You go to a football arena, you go to a stadium of some kind, you see a lot of people, and you say, okay, this is, 50,000 people, 100,000 people. You can quantify it. But the reality is that one of the extraordinary things about the Exodus is that it was so extraordinary, it is impossible for the human mind to quantify it, to visualize it, because of the massive scale that it was, where even if someone is going on the most conservative estimate of the number of people that left Egypt, which we're talking about several million. Of course, some of the less conservative estimates are in the tens and hundreds of millions. But the point being is, even if you want to say, okay, it was only 5, 6, 10 million people, that number of people is not possible for a human mind to visualize and quantify in their mind and actually see the correct image of. It's simply too big. You won't be able to see the beginning or the end of it. So when you visualize the Exodus, you're visualizing something that's, quite frankly, possible. It's just your neighborhood leaving. It's just your community leaving. It's just a game of baseball leaving. It loses its value very quickly. So it's very important for us to know that the only way to undo that damage, that spiritual scar we all have in our mind, is through delving through the Torah and knowing that whatever image we have that's not coming from the Torah is wrong. It's wrong, and it's important for us to arrive at the Seder with that type of mindset. That's what makes it easier for us to understand the significance of the sages, how beautiful they were, how great they were, how simply different they were than anything we could ever imagine. As a rabbi, I must emphasize that this mitzvah is mandatory for every Jew, as it ensures all members of Am Yisrael can properly celebrate the holiday with dignity and joy. The importance of Kimcha de Pisha stems from the fundamental halacha that one must ensure everyone can experience true simcha, happiness, during the holiday.